everyone to our In Conversation series, which is made especially for children. I would like to welcome Darshan sir to start the proceedings.
Why, may I know who is speaking? I want to see her face. My God, it is Purvi?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Good morning everyone. Good morning, Sudha ma'am. Warm welcome to you. Before I start off, I just want to talk about what we are trying to do. Me and my co-founder Ryan have started this initiative known as Tinkerbola, where we try to bring things that children can work with hands or interact with people. This series of conversations that we have with children, which we call In Conversation With, is a series of conversations that we've had with a few authors. And you are the third author on our series, and we are so glad to have you on board today. One of the most important persons who's helped us put this all together is Mr. Mohit Batra. Mohit is a third generation book entrepreneur, and Mohit, along with Penguin Books, has and his own bookstore, which is in Jaipur. He's helped us curate this entire series.
Mohit, I think I received a letter from Mohit, I think.
Yes,
very heart-touching letter. Thank you, Mohit, for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I would now ask Mohit, Mohit's got a very interesting story. He is basically, as I told you, a third generation entrepreneur, especially with the bookstore. He's also an alumnus of XLRI, and amazing stuff that he's doing. He's also, got a series that he started saying a book is the smartest handheld device. Mohit bhai, if you could just take it from here, introduce yourself and this entire series, it would be great.
Thank you. Thank you, Darshan bhai. Thank you, Sudha ma'am. It's truly an honor today. So, hi children, I'm Mohit. I'm a bookseller. And, I'm a third generation bookseller, and I've done nothing but sat at my bookstore and read books. And I realized there's a magic that happens in bookstores when, when you read books, books talk to you. But when you read too many books, you start talking to books. And thankfully, with this, idea and the magic of being at the bookstore, I got this opportunity when I had some few authors come and visit me at the store. So with this initiative, I'm just trying to share my love and the learnings that I've had with these wonderful interactions. Today's session is a dream which has truly come true for me, and I'm sure all of you have enjoyed reading Mrs. Murty as much as I have. She remains one of the most favorite and loved storytellers we have in the country. Well, that's all, and I run this initiative. I want all of you to remember this. A book is the smartest handheld device. That's all. Over to you, Darshan bhai. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
So Purvi, could you introduce Mrs. Sudha Murty for us today, please?
Books are never failing friends. The real joy is in reading books, said a very famous author. Good morning, everyone. Today we welcome our special guest. She is a very famous and known author. She became the first female engineer hired in India's largest auto manufacturing company, Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company, now known as Telco. Sudha Murty was born in 1915 Chicago, North Karnataka. She did her MTech in computer science and is now the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation, a prolific writer in English and Kannada. She has written novels, technical books, travelogues, collection of short stories, and non-fictional pieces, and several best-selling titles for children. Yet, my favorite book that she has written is Grandparents' Bag of Stories, the book that has just released, which is set in her own village, Shiggaon. The book is all about the adventures of their grandchildren and Ajji and Ajja and Kamlu Ajji, all in the COVID-19 situation. Yet, that didn't stop them from having fun. They had lots of fun through the adventures in each story told by the grandparents. Her books have all been translated into all major Indian languages and have sold around 30 lakhs copies all around the country. Sudha Murty is a recipient of the R.K. Narayan Award for Literature 2006, the Padma Shri Award 2006, the Atimabe Award from Government of Karnataka for Excellence in Kannada Literature 2011, the Lifetime Achievement Award by Crossword Books Award, the most recently, the Lal Bahadur Shastri Award for Excellence in 2020. The books that Sudha Murty has written for children are How I Taught My Grandmother to Read, The Magic Drum, and Old Favorite Stories, The Bird with the Golden Wings, Grandma's Bag of Stories, The Magic of the Lost Temple, The Serpent's Revenge, Unusual Tales from Mahabharata, The Man-Egg, Unusual Tales about Rama and Krishna, The Daughter from a Wishing Tree, How the Sea Became Salty, How the Onion Got Its Layers. Don't these books sound fascinating and interesting? The only thing wrong with them is that you can't put them down. So thank you everyone for being here. Sudha Murty ma'am, joining me on the panel today are Akshara, Ruhika, Surbhi and Rakshini. So to begin with, would you like to tell us about yourself a bit as an author, or to talk about your latest book, The Grandparents' Bag of Stories, or would you like to tell us a story?
Whichever you like. You tell me. Whichever. Children, good morning children. It's always a pleasure to interact with children because you are so pure, you are unbiased, you are like, like a flower. Okay? It is always a joy for me to talk to you people. And thank you very much that you read so many books of mine. I'm very happy. Now, what do you want? Shall I tell about a story or shall I talk something? Whatever you want, I will do. I have 10 minutes, then we'll have question and answers. I would like to actually thank Mohit and Ryan and Darshan, everyone, they have made this possible even in a COVID time. And if there was no COVID, I would have loved to come to the bookstore and inaugurate that. I always like to do it in the bookstore. But, things are not the same. And one should not go on complaining. One should always count blessings, Oh, we have a computer, we have a TV, we have books to read. And, life is a little comfortable. So we should look out all those things, then crib, saying that, oh, I can't do this. So I rather take it in this way that, we have been very lucky to be at home and we can do a lot of things which we like. So children, you want a conversation or you want a story or you want a story from this book, whatever you want. You tell me, Purvi.
I think we would like a story.
You would like a story. Okay. If from this book or any book?
From this book?
You want it from this book?
Any book is fine, ma'am.
Any book is fine. Okay. Do children normally like misers? So I want to tell a miser story. Okay. Long ago, there was a miser. His name was Krishna and he wouldn't spend money, but he had a lot of money in his bag, in his cupboard, in his house, but he doesn't want to spend money. One day he goes out in the city and somebody had a housewarming ceremony. They were giving free food to everybody. So he went there and he got a full thali of free food, and in that there was a coconut burfi. Have any one of you have eaten coconut burfi or not? Yes or no?
I have.
No?
Yes.
See, yes. Purvi has not eaten. Purvi, are you from Bangalore? Okay. Tell your mom to make a coconut burfi now. So there was a coconut burfi and he liked it. It was so good. He came and told his wife, went on describing. Coconut burfi was so good. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Wife said, what is great in that? With the kind of money we have, we can make everyday coconut burfi to entire village. He said, what are you talking? First of all, everyday coconut burfi, it's so expensive. Entire village, you should never feed people. So much money at all, you should not spend on people to eat. I just cannot imagine. Then my wife knew his nature. She said, okay, you get me all the ingredients. I can make coconut burfi for my entire lane. He said, what? Are you mad? Why should you make it to entire lane? So he went on. Then she said, okay, our neighbors and our house. So 3 houses I'll make. He said, no, why should we give to neighbors? Then it came to their house. She said, okay, get the coconut burfi ingredients. I'll make coconut burfi. He said, what all you require? She said, you require first coconut. The rest we have at home, but you get the coconut. We'll make a coconut burfi. He went to the market and asked, how much a coconut cost? They say, it is 10 rupees. He said, what? Because he has never bought a coconut, he has never spent money on anything. They said, it's too much. Can you give it to 5? They said, sir, I would have loved to give you two for 5, but I can't afford because it's quite expensive to carry it, or the travel expenses are there. If you walk 2 kilometers down the lane, you will get a shop where you can get it for 5 rupees. This fellow took his bag and went to 2 kilometers, and there was another coconut vendor. He said, how much is the coconut? He said, 5 rupees. He could have bought one. He said, why can't I ask less? See, you never know. Unless you ask, nobody will give. He said, okay, will you give it for 3 rupees? He said, okay. One may give, but I can't afford because I bring it from some other place. You walk another 2 kilometers down the lane, you get it for 3 rupees. And as he is a miser and a greedy fellow, he just walked another 2 kilometers. Then there was one more coconut shop he saw. The merchant was sitting there. Will you give me a coconut? He said, yeah, it costs 3 rupees. He said, can you give it to me 1 rupee? He said, sorry, I can't give. I have to bear the expenses of the bringing it to the place. If you really want to buy 1 rupee, then you go down another 2 kilometers. So how many kilometers he has come? 10 to 5. First 2, 5 to 3, second 2, now 3 to 1, third 2. That means 6 kilometers now he has walked. And there he got, there was a coconut merchant was sitting there. Will you give me a free? He will give me coconut. He said, it's 1 rupee. Said, why waste 1 rupee? Will you give that to me free? He said, this fellow is a greedy fellow. Anyone, I'm sure Mohit Bhai will tell you, you cannot go and ask anything in the shop and say, give it me free. Nothing is free in life except mother's love. Mother's love is free, no charge. The rest you have to pay, including a glass of water you want to. I'm sure Mohit Bhai will give you free water, no problem. In Rajasthan, they have the custom of this one. In summer, everybody gives free water. Am I right? So that you'll get. But in general, you cannot go to a shop and ask, give me free. That shop owner said, you do like this. You walk another 2 kilometers down the road. There is a big coconut tree near the seashore. You climb and you can get it free. So this fellow was so greedy, he walked another 2 kilometers. That means he went 8 kilometers now from his home. And there he saw a nice coconut tree. And there were bunches full of huge, nice coconuts. He said, how lucky I am. If I would have listened to my wife, I would have spent 10 rupees. Look at this now. I can get as many coconuts as I want because there is nobody here. I can take 20 coconuts home. He's a greedy fellow. I can make burfi throughout this entire month, etc. So he started climbing. Anybody has climbed coconut tree here? Have you seen anyone climbing coconut tree? You climb coconut tree when it is not easy to pluck a coconut from the bunch of the coconuts. It is very hard. I used to think like Krishna, just pluck. It is not mango. Mango is easy to pluck. Coconut is very hard. So he went up and tried to take 1 coconut. It was not possible. Then he said, what I should do now? So he put all his might and pulled the coconut. But just that time there was a wind blow. So the wind pushed him. Now he was hanging with a bunch of coconuts on the top of the coconut tree. He said, my God, what have I done? In case I fall, I know I will die. I want to go down with 1 coconut, or maybe without coconut also fine, but I want to get down now. But there is a coconut tree here and he is hanging here. There's a distance. He can't go back and hold the coconut tree and come down. He was hanging. Then he saw 1 horse was going there. So 1 elephant was going there. He said, anyway, elephant is going there. I can ask the mouth of the elephant to help me. He said, mouth, sir, will you help me? He said, what help you want? You stand on your elephant and then you just catch hold of my leg. So I will get down with you on the elephant and then we can both of us jump to ground. Mouth said, it looks nice, but give me 100 rupees to do this job. Why should we do free? He said, no, I can't give 100. It's just too much. He said, really? Then I'm going. He said, no, please. I will give 100 rupees. So he was extremely unhappy, but there's no other go. So Mahout got up on his elephant and he was catching the legs of Krishna. Just that time, somebody was carrying a grass and elephant saw that grass. elephant moved out. So now two people are hanging with the bunch of coconuts, and below the mouth there was nobody. So both are scared and he was cursing each other. Meantime, there is a horse rider came, and the horse stopped there. So the horse was tired, so he stopped there. Then this fellow said, horseman, horseman, will you take us down so that we all will say, I will come to you catch hold of our legs standing on your horse and we all can come down. He said, okay, I will give me 1,000 rupees. He said, man, 1,000, are you mad? He said, okay, I'm going. He said, okay, chalo, 1,000 will give. So the horseman or the horse rider was catching the legs of the Krishna, then to the mouth. At that time, the horse saw another female horse and he ran away. All three were hanging. Meantime, there was a gush of wind, so all of them fell down, broke their knees, bones, everything, got admitted to the hospital. The Krishna, the miser, had saved a lot of money. All was spent on a treatment. He felt, and he was in the hospital. His wife came to see him. He said, I wish I would have been a wise man. I should have bought the coconut for 10 rupees. I would have saved so much agony. And I wish I could have fed the entire village with the coconut. People at least would have remembered me. What is this? So he told, better not to be so miser and foolish, because miser is the only person in the world who leaves everything to somebody. Okay? He is the real person who doesn't use the money for himself but give to somebody. Don't be miser. Be happy in your work and enjoy it. Okay, it's a nice story. Yeah? Coconut barfi. Tell me now, what is the next one? You want question answer? Shall we start question answers?
Yes, ma'am, we can start the question answers.
Yeah, because the children don't require sermons, They require question answers, talking to them. Okay, anybody can ask me any question. Okay, chale.
Ma'am, I would like to ask you a question.
Akshara, I thought.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, like right now, you told a really nice story and very enjoyable for children. So, while writing your books, what are the obstacles that you face while writing your books that are related to making your stories understandable and enjoyable for children? And
Tell me.
Something that they will enjoy and understand.
Actually, to write children's story, I don't have any obstacles. When the story is ready, then only I write. I think before that. I think, and it should convince me, and I should enjoy it first. I should enjoy it. I should find it very funny. And there should be a moral, indirect moral, not direct moral, indirect moral. I should enjoy it. And then I visualize the story. I also visualize the characters and the pictures. So until it is ready, I don't write. Half I write and wait and see what I'll get tomorrow. No. Entire story is ready in my mind, then only I'll be able to write. That's fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Who is the next person?
Hello, ma'am. I'm Rohita. So, what part of being an author do you like most? Why is writing so special to you?
It is my expression of my emotion. Some people like dance, some people like music, some people like something else. For me, writing is creativity. Writing is also expression of my emotions. Whenever I'm happy, down, up, every time when I am in front of the computer or in front of the table with a book and a paper and a pen, I'm always happy because that is my source of strength. Okay. Next.
Which was your favorite story that you have ever written or told?
Who is this? Tell me your name. Beta, who is the one?
Purvi.
Purvi or Survi?
Purvi.
Which are your favorite story? Every story I like, actually. Every story I like, then only I write. But like children, I always enjoy my mother story a lot more than any other story. Because a mother is the one who is penalized so much at the end in any story. So I enjoy it. As like how you people enjoy, I also enjoy minor stories.
Hi, my name is Surabhi.
Hi, Surabhi.
Hi. Who inspired you to write stories?
Who inspired me? I think I used to write. Surabhi, what is your age?
8.
My God. At the age of 10 or 12, I started writing good essays first. And then I went on graduating to write. I enjoyed this. I always used to tell good stories in the class. So later I started writing. Nobody person as such enjoyed, but I enjoyed writing. That's the reason I took up for writing stories. Okay, next.
Have you ever felt that a book that you have written is not up to the mark?
Normally no. Normally no. Because I think and write. When I'm so sure it is a good quality, then only I write. Not up to the mark, I have never felt. But on the contrary, if you tell me to write a book which I wrote in 1999, why then otherwise? If you tell me to write now, I won't write in the same way. I may write in a different way. But I have never felt inadequate in any book. No. No. Because I'm not in a hurry to write. That's the reason. Next.
If you could spend a day with another popular author, who would that be?
Shashi Tharoor. I like Shashi Tharoor's writing. V.S. Naipaul I used to like, but it's not possible. Then in Kannada, Vasudendra, there he writes a lot. Then in Kannada, one more lady is there, Nemi Chandra. I like to spend time with her. There are many good people out there.
Ma'am, I would like to ask another question. Writing, does it energize you or give you these emotions and does it make you happy and does it make you feel enthusiastic and yeah?
Yeah, actually I enjoy writing. So when I finish writing, I get tired. I get tired because it's a mental work, it's a creativity. So that I convert into words. So after writing, I get tired. I remember I wrote House of Cards novel. It took 45 days for me to write. After that 2 days, I just could not get up because you are exhausted by the mind, not by the body. This is a creativity in your mind. So I get exhausted when I write anything. I get exhausted. Yes, next.
I am Agya Dhuri. So I want to ask you that you do so much social work. What motivated you for this?
There are two things. One is if you have time, you read. In one of my book I have written, Amma, what is your duty? My daughter asked me that question when she was young. She was 15 years old. She asked me, what's your duty in life? That made me to think. And I started helping poor people. Then second reason is I enjoy helping fellow human beings. I always feel it is better to help others than you buy something for you. Okay. So that is the reason I work. I enjoy working. Every day is a holiday for me because I don't get stressed with my work. Third point is, the compassion which I've inherited from our elders makes me to help for poor people, and I always feel I'm responsible to help poor people. I feel it's our responsibility to help as much as possible to poor people. That's the reason I say generosity of few, hope for million. I believe in it that people who are well off, they have a commitment towards helping others. I always feel that way. Thank you. Anything else?
We have a question from Tamanna Suresh, ma'am. I'm just
Tamanna Sukesh.
Tamanna, if you can ask a question, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hi, ma'am. It's a great opportunity to meet you.
Let me see your face.
Ma'am, can you see me now?
Tamanna. Yeah.
I've read many of your books and I'm a great fan of yours. I like the mythical gods and goddesses stories particularly. So whenever you search for the gods or goddesses stories, you see the many common ones. So, and the ones that you write are mostly unheard of. You
Yes.
rarely even hear it. So from where did you get to know these stories?
Tamanna, when I was a young girl, we never had electricity, TV, and cell phone, computer like what you have. It was an advantage for us because we used to read a lot. So there is a Brahad Bhagavata which was at home, and I used to read it when I was very young. So I got most of the stories from there, and many things. Different states of India I have traveled. Some of them are folklore, like Shabari is a folklore in some states, and it is not there in some states. And it is not one day's job, it is constant research of 50 years job. That's the reason it took long time for me to write, because I had to do proper research. And I've gone, actually, I wanted to write about Katusham, the man who saw the actual war of Mahabharata. And he was the grandson of Bhimasena, son of Ghatotkacha. I knew about him and I knew the story. But I came to Rajasthan only for that, because in Rajasthan, in one place they worship Katusha. Okay, and Mohit Bhai may be knowing, on the way to Bikaner, from Jaipur to Bikaner, there is a Sham Mandir who he has a statue with a big bush, and there is a festival every year, Katusha. Okay, that is he was the grandson of Bhimasena and son of Ghatotkacha. So I really go to that place and see and come back and write. For example, Ganga joins Bay of Bengal in Sagar Sangam. Okay, and there you have Kapila Rishi's ashram, and there is a story of Kapila Rishi. When he curses Sagara's children that let you be reduced to ashes. So I went to Bengal, traveled by boat, and went to that particular place known as Ganga Sagar or Ganga Pradesh, where in Bay of Bengal, mighty river Ganga joins effortlessly. And in the junction, there is the temple. So some of them I have gone to the individual places, I have seen and then I have written.
Yes, ma'am. Another question. So you have written many of the stories, like grandparents' bag of stories, like right now, and grandma's bag of stories. So are these stories the fruit of your creativity, or you heard it from your grandparents or somebody?
80% are my creativity, 20% I've heard from grandparents. Some, suppose I go abroad, then I ask for the folklores there. 20% are heard, 80% are my own creativity.
Yes, ma'am. And I really like the story of the daughter from the wishing tree, where Parvati,
yes. Yes. Ashoka Sundari.
Yeah. I really like that story. Though having two mighty sons, she wanted a daughter so badly.
Yeah, because a daughter is a daughter. A daughter is the one, she will care for her parents forever. So Parvati felt, though I have Shanmukha and Ganesha, the one who really cares for me is my daughter. So I would like to have a daughter. And she says, she asked the wishing tree, will you give me a daughter? And that is the story of Ashoka Sundari.
Yes, ma'am.
Very nice.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, beta. Thank you. Yes. Anyone else?
Question?
Yeah, who is this? Puri.
So I have a question, ma'am. Which was the first story you have ever written? Because you've written so many stories that are so interesting and so fascinating. So the first story that fascinated you, which one was it?
Well, the first book I can tell you. First story is what? In mythology, or is the children's story, or my experience in Infosys Foundation? Which is the first one? There are many ways I write. Which one you are expecting the first one? You tell me, I will answer accordingly.
The first mythology story that you've ever heard or ever told.
Many things I told, but I like this story which I think I wrote on Vijay Dashmi Day or on Dasra Day. in some part of India, like Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and north part of Karnataka, we give Shami Ruksha leaves. Shami Shamayate Papam Shami Shatru Vinashini Arjunasya Dhanurdhari Ramasya Priyadarshini. On that evening, we give Shami trees leaves to each other and say, let's assume it's a gold and take gold and forgive us. Let us be friends again in case you have any fight with anybody. That is the one which I enjoyed the most, because there is a story of Raghu in that, story of Kubera in that, story of the Guru in that, Bharadwaj, I think. Then there's the story, there's a nice story why we celebrate Dasara, actually. Okay.
My name is Nandini and I wanted to ask you, what is your most favorite part of writing a story?
Every part is fun. Every part is fun. It is not like, oh, it's never a hard thing for me. I enjoy doing that. There's nothing hard for me. Story. Nothing is hard for me.
And I have another question. That when you wrote Magic of the Temple, was
Lost
that temple real?
It is imaginary. Because I've seen similar kind of temple in many places. But it was not like, the way I described. I have seen the step well in many places. Actually, Nandini, I want to tell you, to write Magic of the Lost Temple, I took 3.5 years. I visited 22 Baudis or 22 Baulis or 22 step wells in India. Abhaneri, Rani Ki Vav, then Lakshmeshwara, then Japadabhami. There are many, many places I went and saw 22 step wells and came back and I do a lot of research before I write because I enjoy doing that and it's so authentic. That's the reason. Tell me next.
So I have a question. So if you were to describe all your books in a sentence, what would it be?
I don't know what to tell. I feel you readers should tell. I feel when you go, I think it's simple, easy to understand, enjoyable and indirect moral lessons. That's the way I can tell.
So I have another question. So how do you create characters? Like, do you have a special connection with them?
Stories or children?
The stories.
No. I write the story, then I forget about it. Because, if I go on remembering stories, then my next story will be the reflection of the previous story. A good writer is the one who should forget once they write, because your mind should be fresh to write the next story. So I forget about it. If you ask me the stories inside this, one or two I may remember, or vaguely I remember, but detail I won't remember, because I have to write the next book.
What do you like to do when you're not writing?
I have a lot of household work and I play with Gopi. Gopi is my dog. I play with Gopi. Then I do my office work. From home I work entire day in my office because we have a full-fledged office and COVID time we have to work continuously, to the hospitals, to the patients and all those things. So very, very busy. Okay.
Ma'am, I had a question. Ma'am, were you always committed to writing or did you have other passions?
Who is speaking?
Manashri.
Where are you, beta? I can't see you, Manashri. I can't see you.
Can you see me now?
Manashri, yeah. Did I have the passion to write the stories or?
Ma'am, were you always committed to writing or did you have other passions when you were younger?
Many things I have. I'm very fond of history, extremely fond of history. Then Kannada literature, my mother tongue. So I have many other hobbies. So it is not always writing. Second thing is, I have a simple principle. In life, situation comes to you. You don't choose the situation. Situation comes to you. And whatever is the situation, you do the level best. Now I'm writing, let me do the level best. Suppose I'm working for Infosys Foundation, I'll do very well at Foundation. Suppose I'm talking to you, I'll put my 100% in every job. And that's the reason I don't accept too many jobs. Like people say, you are at home, so why can't you come on a Zoom every day? So I always say no. When including Zoom, I put 100% in that.
LC data addition cases, and he's also
Thank you.
supporting this PLP for the next week.
Ma'am, so I have another question. So, being a prolific writer, you have written a number of books in various genres. What genre is your preference?
Actually, writing in Infosys Foundation experience is very easy. Writing a novel takes 3 to 5 years. Writing for children has a lot of challenges because I have to use the proper language. You can't write the way you think because your mind is so soft. Then you can't use complicated paragraphs or situations or words. So for me, this is great. Writing for children is supposed to be easier, but though there are challenges, but it is much more easier than any other genre.
If you could tell your younger writing self anything, what would it be?
When I was young in college, I wrote some story. I won't even remember what story I wrote. Then I wrote on a Mozart something, I remember. The Mozart's effect in Western classical music. I remember 17 or 18. Then 1 or 2 stories I wrote. But I started writing seriously after age of 28. I started writing seriously. Okay, tell me now. Yes.
Do any of your stories come from your own childhood?
Some of them. Some of them. Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes, Manaswini.
Ma'am, you've written so many stories, and when you write them, how do you get that idea? Like, how do you get that creativity?
Okay, this one I can answer in a very different way. When I write, I believe that Goddess Saraswati is the one who makes me to write. I don't have any other formula to tell you lie. Okay, oh, I'm born with it, nothing like that. Goddess Saraswati makes, actually she is the one who sits here and I'm the one who write with my hand. That's all I can tell you. That's the only way I can give explanation. Why do I write? Is it some inspiration? Or do I always write? Or none of them I know. I only know Saraswati makes me to write and I write.
Hello, ma'am. My name is... And I would like to ask you what prompted you to write, because especially children's stories, most children have very short attention spans, and to make them engrossed in a book takes a lot of hard work. So what prompted you to write, especially for children, and what made you realize that that's what you wanted to do?
Because I felt children require habit of reading. I felt with always modern gadgets, their eyes will be spoiled, they will be addicted. Always like how Mohit Batra says, is a book is the one who, which can solve many problems like that. I always believe books are entertainmental. Books are also give you good lessons. Books also are like friends, never failing friends. Books also helps you to do better things in life. And even though there is not much market in writing, but I still feel good books will have some space all the time.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Mary, and I'm so happy to meet you. I always wanted to meet you. So I have a question that what all points do you need to remember while writing a story?
No, I don't make any points to remember, but you should know the tenses. What are you writing in the present tense, past tense, quotes, paragraph changes, those things you should know. Synonyms at times, okay? And most importantly, you should know to break the monotony, you should have a paragraph and some quotes within your mind, some quotes within the character's mind. So all those things, techniques we use so that writing becomes very effective. Is it okay?
Hello, ma'am. I would like to ask a question. As a child, what stories or books did you love to read, and what is your favorite book, or who is your favorite author?
My authors went on changing depending on my time. For example, when I was very young, somebody was my favorite author. When I started growing, reading more, my authors went on changing. So I can't say one book or one author. Over the period of time, many authors and many books have changed me. Not one person. Yeah.
Sudha ma'am, if you permit me, can I ask a few of the teachers and the adults in the room
Fine, no
if they
problem.
can ask you a few questions?
Fine, no problem. Right? Please do ask.
If there are any teachers who would like to ask Sudha Murty ma'am any questions, please feel free. Just put your hands up and I'll unmute you all so you all can ask ma'am the questions directly.
So there's actually a question from Ojal, which is a very interesting question. So how do you think your writing has developed from when you first started writing?
Good question, actually. When I started, see, I'm a Kannada medium girl. When I studied up to 10th class, all in Kannada medium. When I passed, I was 16 years old. I was not able to write one paragraph of English. And from there, my subject was very good, mathematics, physics and all. So that helped me to get into engineering college. I did engineering college fairly well. At the age of 50, I started writing in English. At the age of 50, I started writing in English.
Wow.
Okay. And when I started writing English, I was worried nobody will buy my book. Or somebody may buy my book because I'm Narayana Murthy's wife or Infosys. But actually, it was not true. 1 or 2% may buy, but they have to spend their own money. Unless the book is very good, nobody will spend the money. What I have changed over a period of time with my experience. Now, when I used to write first time, I used to describe little more details. Today, I'm very crisp in not giving too many details. That has changed over a period of time. Okay, and approaching the subject more in an equilibrium way than biased way. So, in life, how I have changed, that has affected my writing, and I have changed accordingly. So if I had to write the same book, one of my first book, Wise and Otherwise, today I may or may not be able to write the same way. I will change. Because there I talk about telegraph, there I talk about landline, there I talk about, what is that? There used to be BlackBerry. None of them are true today. Okay, so technology has changed. Accordingly, the words have to change. And over a period of time, I learned the art of mastering how much to write. So I will write differently, but it's a good question that I have changed because my experiences, life has changed, so I have changed. Yeah. Yes, please. Over.
So we have another question related to writing. So Sahana asks, what advice do you have for young writers?
Young writers should read first. Read a lot. Don't be in a hurry to publish your book. Now Amazon publishes it, everybody publishes it. But don't be in a hurry to publish your book. Read a lot. Then understand the style of writing. You know, when you have to make a paragraph, when you have to make Swagata, that means internally what you are thinking, when you have to make it openly talking, then connecting the core of the story. It should not be vague story. So read a lot, then write. Keep it for first time, at least keep it for a year or 6 months and reread it again. You find it there is no change, then you publish. Publishing is not a big job today, but setting a good quality of work is bigger job. So not just like that you have to write. You have to work hard for that. Commitment you have to show. And when you read, it should be convincing. Because I say, when you pay rupees 150 for my book, then I feel, or 300 rupees, whatever you pay, I should not cheat you. See, I will tell you one page, I can write 4 or 5 conversations. Still, I can complete a page. Mohit will understand that. How are you? Let's say, the quotes, how are you? Then quotes complete. Then, oh, I'm fine. But, what is but? But I feel something, this kind of a conversation, if you go on writing, It will take a page. What is the outcome of that page? 0. That means I'm cheating one page to my reader. And he or she has put money to buy that book. I will never do. I will be very crisp. And every sentence has a meaning. Every paragraph has a meaning. Not just to make 300-page book. Let it be a 120-page book. But it should carry its knowledge or weight or whatever the aim of that book. I don't like to cheat my readers. Second thing, I don't believe in numbers. If it is 50,000 words, it's the best book. If it is 35,000 words, it is an okay book. If it's 20,000, it's a bad book. No, it is not the number of words. It is the message what you carry. It is the power. There's a small sentence which is so powerful. Generosity of few is hope for million. It is only 10 words in one sentence. Look at the meaning behind it. Generosity of few is hope for million. It is a great philosophy in that. Similarly, I have written in one of my books, when you are in the middle age, you feel, oh, childhood was great. When you are in old age, middle age was great. In life, what we miss, what we cannot get it back, always makes us that of the greatest spirit. Because time always advances, it never comes back. What we can't get, we always love it. So when you write like this, each sentence is powerful. So you should be very careful when you write a book that it is not the number of pages, it is the message what it carries or what its aim of the book. Yeah. Next.
Hello, ma'am. I am Sahana.
Here is Sahana. I want to see you.
Here. Can you see me now?
Okay. Huh.
Ma'am, I love your stories a lot.
Thank you, beta. Thank you. Thank you.
And my favorite book is The Upside Down King.
I'm very happy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very nice story.
Nice pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, beta. Thank you. Eric, what is the question?
Ma'am, I had asked advice for young writers.
Yeah. Okay, I have given you that. Okay, next.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Tell me, Mohinji.
Ma'am, you're one of those rare authors who've inspired my 7-year-old son and my 67-year-old father with a single book. Ma'am, the simple question I want to ask is, nowadays children and everybody in the schools or everybody in offices are spending a lot of time on digital devices.
Yes.
So, with your busy schedule, you still make out time to read. So how do we all schedule time to read more?
There are two reasons. There are two reasons. I'm older than you and I've been I'm your father's age. In our time, the only entertainment was books, not digital. So we are used to. Actually, I enjoy reading a book than Kindle because I can hold a book, lie down and read. Then, it is not a strenuous to eyes. I require a battery. There is nothing like that. Just put the lights on, read, or sit outside and read. And you can relax and read. You can sit in an easy chair and read. You can sleep on a sofa and read. So, I enjoy reading a book. Now, practically, Kindle is better because one computer can hold 200 books. But, I feel it's strenuous to eyes to see all the time screen. Second thing is, if you want, you should read. You should appreciate why we should read. Why we'll read? Without reading also, I've seen many people, they don't have even books. When I was young, Mr. Murty took me to somebody's house, a rich person's house. And, we were working at that time. So he said, let's go. They are very rich people. They have called us for dinner. We went. And they served food in a silver thali. Everything was fine. I came back and told Murty, they are very poor people. He said, how do you say that? They had a big flat, 5-bedroom flat in Bombay, Cuff Parade, and all is a good address actually. They had Mercedes Benz. Everything is fine. I said, they are poor people. I said, in their hall, there was not a single book. There were no books in the house. For me, it is the index of poverty. Because for me, it is not a 5-bedroom. If you have 5 books, and I always say books indicate your way of thinking, your taste, what you are. It is the way how you would like to be. And then books also tells us what books we read. It gives you experiences in life. I consider books are my never failing friends. Friends may fail you. Friends may say, oh, cheat you. Friends may tell lie to you. But books are never failing, friends. Like so much loyal, so much open with you. So that is the reason that we love books. Next generation has lot more distractions. They have Wikipedia, they have Google, they have lots of sites, they have apps, they have iPhone, and they have computer, they have games. So between a book and a computer game, anybody will prefer a computer game because it is in color, it gives you sound, it is a picture, it is more fascinating. And when you read a book, such things you have to imagine. Like, I used to read Mahabharata when I was young. And, I remember Krishna the way I could imagine. Not what Nitish Bharadwaj, whom I will see on TV. Because for me, Krishna is Ajanabhav, Shanta Karam, he was Shant, Bhujagashayanam. That means he sleeps on the Vishnu, the serpent. Padmanabham Suresham, Vishwadharam, Gaganasadrisham, Yogivarnam, Shubhangam, Lakshmi Kantam, Kamalanayanam. So every adjective I can imagine how Lord is there, how his eyes are there, how his skin color is there, how tall he is, how shant he is, where he is sleeping, what he is wearing, what jewels he has. Vaijayanti Hara, he has the Tulsi Mala, he has the Kirita, more Pank. This is all in a shloka I could translate into my mind and imagine Krishna. Today's generation children press the button, they see Nitish Bharadwaj in a TV serial. Or now Victor Banerjee was there later. Many people have become Krishna in Mahabharata. So for them, the imagination is limited for them. For me, my imagination is different than my sister's. Though my sister has heard the same Shantakaram, how Krishna was there, her imagination is depending on her mind. My imagination depends upon my mind. And that's the reason I consider reading is much better than digital tools, because you can imagine what you want, and that helps your creativity, that expands your imagination. What is creativity? Expansion of your imagination with a proper wording. So it is one of the reasons that a good reader is always a better writer. I hope that's what I feel.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This has been an amazing session.
I think my time is up. I suppose children are telling, okay, beta. I enjoyed the questions. Tell me.
Thank you so much for answering all of our questions and answering them. Now, I request Ryan sir to give the closing remarks for this session.
Yeah, Purvi. Put the Purvi, unmute Purvi. Yes, Purvi, they told you to close. Suppose I wanted to talk, what you would have done?
You can talk, ma'am. It's okay.
I just joked. Come on. I joked, beta. Children are very important to me. See, to write children book, what I do, I become a child first in my mind. Then I understand your mind. Then I write. It takes a couple of days for me to become child. And then I write, then after 1 or 2 days, I become again a child. When I become a child, I enjoy it. A good rain, I enjoy. A good sweet at home, I enjoy. When you're old, no? What is there in rainy season? It's very cold. What is there in sweet? Oh, diabetes. And all will talk such things. When you are a child, you have abundant energy, abundant love for life. And that when I become child, I understand. And that's the reason I can write children book when I connect to you people. Thank you, beta. Purvi, you did a good job.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes, Ryan.
Okay, yeah. So I just want to say, so I have had the chat box open, and there have been so many questions coming. It's going to be impossible to answer everyone's questions. So children, please don't feel bad that your question wasn't asked or you weren't able to ask a question.
Next time. There's always a next time. Don't worry. There's always a next time.
Exactly. So ma'am, I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us here. It's been absolutely amazing listening to you. I can easily say this has been the most exciting Zoom call I've been on since the 10th of March. So it's been great listening to you. Thank you. And we look forward to lots more books from you. And I'd also like to thank Mohit. Mohit, thanks for making all of this happen. I think without you, it would not have been possible. And Darshan, you too. So let's hope we can keep continuing these interactions. Thank you, children, for joining. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you've taken away some inspiration from Sudha ma'am. I hope we can all create as much the good stuff as she has over the course of our lives. And yeah, it's been amazing. So I hope this has been a good midweek for everyone. And we look forward to seeing everyone at the next session. Thank you.
Thank you. I enjoyed the session. Nothing like having children in the session because the children spoke. And thank you very much, Mohitji. When I'm in Jaipur, I will let you know because we have a Infosys office there. So I do come there once in a while. Not during COVID time, but some other time when I come there.
It will be an honor, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Darshanji. Thank you, everybody. Okay? Bye.